Welcome back to the Maelstrom, ladies and gentlemen. We have another Warhammer 40k battle report for you today. 2,000 points of Death Guard versus Necrons. I will be commanding my Death Guard. Josh will be stepping into the robotic shoes of my Necron Overlord. We are doing targets of opportunity from the chapter approved, and our deployment type is search and destroy. The Necrons will be in this deployment zone. The Death Guard will be down here. So we have 6 objectives. We get 3 tactical objectives each turn, and we have 1 turn to achieve them. Those have to be discarded at the end of the turn if they are not achieved. So Death Guard down here, bottom left corner, Necrons in the top right. Be right back with the armies. First up, we have the Grandfather's Children. We're going to be playing a battalion, 2,000 points. It's going to be led by the Demon Prince. He has 2 sets of Malefic Talons, or rather 2 Malefic Talons. He has the Suppurating Plate, and his Warlord trait is Arch Contaminator. He is joined in the HQ slot by a Malignant Plaguecaster. The Plaguecaster has Curse of the Leper and Blades of Putrefaction. The Demon Prince has Miasma of Pestilence. They have a pair of bloat drones with plague spitters and plague probes. Then we have 3 rhinos in the motor pool. Those rhinos will be ferrying 3 of our 4 plague marine squads. We have 2 squads of 7 that have 2 plasma guns each. 1 squad of 7 with 2 of the plague spitters, our plague spewers rather, the heavy flamer version. And then we have a 4th squad that will be deploying on foot with 2 blight launchers. We have 5 Blight Lord Terminators. They have 2 robotic axes and 3 bell swords, 4 combi plasmas, and 1 blight launcher. We then have 3 Mephitic Blight Haulers as our last fast attack choice. We will be right back with the Necrons.
Okay, so the Necrons will be organized into a battalion. We are playing Saltec Dynasty. The Catacomb Command Barge will be the Warlord, and his Warlord trait is Immortal Pride, and he is wearing the Lightning Field. The second HQ is a Cryptek with a Chronometron and a Staff of Light. Then in the troop slot, I have 3 squads of 16 warriors and 2 squads of 10 immortals with Gauss blasters. Then for fast attacks, I have a squad of 7 Tomb Blades with shield vanes, a squad of 3 destroyers, and a squad of 7 Canoptic Scarabs. In the heavy supports, I have a trio of heavy destroyers, and rounding out the list in the transport slot is a Ghost Ark.
Alright, you have seen the armies and you have seen the table. We will be back as we get stuck into the Maelstrom. Initial deployment is complete. The Death Guard were down first. We have the 1 squad of blight launchers here on the flank, along with the Mephitic Blight Haulers. We have our 1st plasma gun squad here, the plague spewer squad here, along with the plaguecaster, the 2 drones, and then on the far end, the 2nd plasma squad, Demon Prince bringing up the back, and the Blight Lord Terminators are in the teleportarium. Josh, what you got?
So we set up 2 warrior squads along the front, 1 in reserve on our strong flank. Both of the immortals behind them, and interspersed back here in cover or in terrain is the support, the bikes on the far flank. The destroyers up in terrain, and the heavy destroyers out of line of sight of the long-range firepower from the missiles and the multi-meltas and all that stuff.
Alright, so Necrons did finish 2nd, so Death Guard will get +1 to the first turn. We have a 1. I think you can beat that. Tie. Do it again. Alright, Death Guard, a 3, so we're looking at a 4. A 5, so you'll be going 1st or 2nd. Alright, Necron's going 1st. We will go through their initial turn, and then we will be back. Necrons begin turn 1 with Domination, Secure Objective 6, and Age of the Machine.
Alright, so we're through our shooting phase, and there will not be an assault phase for this turn. We moved and advanced the front squad of warriors, and moved and advanced the bikes on the flank. Everything else just made normal moves, no reason to advance for what we were doing this turn. These warriors used their normal move to step up onto Objective 6 and secure that point for us. The heavy destroyers took extermination protocols and blasted 10 wounds out of the Rhino in 1 shot, and then 3 members of the squad died in the fallout. Yeah, 3 1s.
It always happens. Every time, if you go back and watch our videos, I have historical proof. Every time they go up in flames, 3 of them burn with it.
Then the command barge used a solar pulse to negate their cover save from the blight haulers and punched out 2 more with his gauss cannon. Not a whole lot else happened good in the shooting phase. We combined all of our fire down on the Marines, the Rhino there that we did manage to knock 2 points out of, and the blight haulers, and the 2 points on the Rhino was all that we got with the rest of our shooting. So we opened like champs, but we closed very quietly for that turn.
We weeded the weak ones out. All right, that's going to be a 3-point jump for the Necrons here on turn 1. The Nurgle army has made their sacrifice to the Chaos Gods. Hopefully things will go a little better as far as ones go, and we'll swing into business here and try to knock out some Necrons. Death Guard, turn 1, coming up. Death Guard have started turn 1 with Big Game Hunter, Blood and Guts, and no prisoners. We went ahead and made a general advance. Terminator stayed in the teleportarium for 1 more turn, and then unleashed all hell on these poor Necrons. The psychic phase, Curse of the Leper, was able to bring down 2 of them. We got 1 with Pestilential Fallout, 1 with the Toughness check. We also put Blades of Putrefaction and Miasma of Pestilence on the Mephitic Blight Haulers. We then, all the Marines disembarked and moved forward, played Cloud of Flies on the Plague Spewer squad. We then moved forward with the Marines that were back here, and the 2 survivors, who we did pay 2 command points for insane heroism last turn, went ahead and advanced up here into the cover. From there, we started shooting. The blight haulers with their missile launchers and multi-meltas were able to completely wipe out the heavy destroyers in the backfield. The 2 drones advanced into the front here and were able to bring down 4 of the Immortals with 1 of them, and the other one combined with the Marines and the rest of the firepower to wipe out the 16-man squad across the front. We also got 2 guys from the next squad back of Necron Warriors with plasma gun fire from the survivors of the Rhino wreck. They did not have another target by their turn to shoot. We also killed 1 guy here with incidental fire, and I think that was it. Oh no, we did 2 wounds to 1 of the destroyers with a blight launcher that could draw line of sight back there to them. We then launched a couple of charges. Rhino here tried to lock the Warriors up in an attempt to provide cover for his buddies for their charges, but was unable to make it, even with a reroll. But we did roll a 9 for these guys. That is going to carry them forward into the Cryptek and the squad of Marines. So we got that combat to work, and then we will be back. Mephitic Blight Haulers were able to get into close combat and cut down the Cryptek. The Cryptek did then play a Resurrection Protocols at the end of the phase. He rolled a 1 to start with to get him back, but he did play a command point reroll and go ahead and get him back in the fight with 1 wound remaining. So these Warriors did move over. They attempted to do their damage, but they were unable to do anything to the Mephitic Blight Haulers, needing -2 to hit them. They just could not bring any hits home. So that is going to be the end of turn 1. Score is currently 3-2 in favor of the Necrons. We will be back as the Necrons come back in turn 2. Alright, for turn 2, the Necrons are looking at Endless Legions, defend objective 4 and defend objective 6.
So the warriors that were locked in combat fell back, and the rest of the army redressed to try to stop some of the demon engines coming in. With the combined firepower of every unit that could shoot in the army, we did 8 wounds to the Blight Haulers.
Yeah, and a lot of that was on me. I mean, he started out with Miasma of Pestilence. He started out kind of slow, unable to get that first wound through. Once he got that first wound through, he played the Methodical Destruction, which was an excellent play there. Wounded them a ton of times, but all of that -2 Gauss Blaster fire from both squads of Immortals and from the box. I think there was twice that he wounded me 6 or 7 times, and I failed 1 save, and that was before Disgustingly Resilient. So he should have got 2, but ended up only bringing 1 out. So that's it, right? All right. So we're going into Nurgle turn 2. He will score 6 and 4 at the end of my turn if I'm not able to knock him off of them. So Necrons are done. Going into Death Guard, turn 2. Death Guard have Grandfather's Gift, Behind Enemy Lines, and Death Begets Life. We are done with our movement, psychic, and shooting phase. We did go ahead and move our Marines forward. and we deep struck the Blight Lords here in the center of the army to go ahead and start putting some fire support down. The Demon Prince came in this direction, kind of abandoned his bubble, but I needed to try to get some damage in on these bikes while they were close enough. So he flew over here. Rhino moved over to help him out by catching the Overwatch. They are both going in the close combat stage. We did shoot a few of the plasma guns and blight launchers over here. We were able to bring down a grand total of 3 of the bikes. 3 of these warriors went down. 1 from Blades of Putrefaction, which we cast on the Lord. Or on the Demon Prince rather. We did that on a 9, so that did kill 1 of them on Pestilential Fallout. 2 more went down to incidental fire. We put Miasma of Pestilence on the gunboats again. They fired up the field. They were able to kill the one destroyer, but no more damage was done. They were able to bring down a warrior or 2. The Plague Spears from here brought down a warrior or 2. We then coupled all of the bolters and plasma that had range and killed off the 10-man Immortal Squad back here. So other charges, we do have this Rhino and these Marines. They both made charges against the warriors here. The drone made a charge against the Cryptek to try to put him down for good this time. We also put the Mephitic Blight Haulers back into combat along with this drone, who locked both the warriors and the bikes, and the Plague Caster went into combat here with him. The other Marines and Terminators tried to make charges there, but were unable to make it. So lots of combats to do. This will be the turn of melee. Once that is finished, we will be back. Alright, combat rolls to an end. It was very much brutal. Over here, the Demon Prince wiped the entire bike squad without breaking a sweat. A couple more, I think 3 more of these warriors went down between the Malignant Plague Caster and the Bloat Drone. Down here we got 6 Marines between the Rhino didn't do anything, but the Marines and the Mephitic Blight Haulers brought 6 of them down. And then the Bloat Drone was able to kill the Cryptek and was also, with his consolidation before he fought, able to lock the Immortals up. They did scratch his paint, but man, at that point, just everything's locked up in combat. No shooting capacity. Death begets life. We destroyed 28 models this turn, so we scored 4 points for that. We scored 3 points on behind enemy lines because we have the Bloat Drone, the Crawlers, and the Plague Marines completely in his deployment zone. And then we scored a point for Grandfather's Gift because we finished the Cryptek off with the Plague Probe. That makes it 11-7 in favor of the Death Guard. Necrons are completely pinned to the board edge. So at that point, we're going to go ahead and call it and scratch our heads, see what we can do differently. I'm going to have some after-action thoughts, I'm sure, at the blog, as always, to mull over what happened once we've had some time to think about it. That will be a Death Guard victory, though. We will have after-action reviews and army lists at the blog, as always. Be sure to check us out on Facebook. Give us a like and a subscription on YouTube. That's the most important metric to us, and we appreciate all of you who have been doing that lately. As long as you keep doing that, you provide us the steam to continue making games for you. As always, guys, thanks for spending time with us today at the Maelstrom.